Hello and welcome back to Sammy V Reads. This is my second episode. I think I'm sort of getting the hang of editing, so this one should go a little bit more smoother. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite series. I read this a couple years back when I was living in Florida. It was kind of before I got fully into reading, but it's something that I always remembered, and it is The Stage Dive Novels by Kaylee Scott. I'm going to go one by one through every book, give you my review of each book and my favorite points. So let's get started. The first book I'm going to talk about is Lick. So it's the first book of the series, and this is about Evelyn and David. David is the lyricist and lead guitar of this novel. I am so sorry if I'm getting sweaty. I have to turn off my little AC unit because it's so loud and I feel like it'll pick up on recording, and I don't know how to make it quieter, but it's really hot here right now. We're in a heat wave and it's really humid. So this book, it starts off with a marriage in Vegas, which is always like the girl wakes up hungover, Evie wakes up hungover. David remembers everything, she doesn't. He gets super mad about it. She finds out he's actually a celebrity. She gets a tattoo of him, and she obviously wants nothing to do with him. She flies back home, realizes he's a celebrity. She gets stalked like crazy, has to go back to him. You have the pesky manager in this, you have some drama, you have a high school sweetheart. It's really gripping and you get to learn more about it. In this book specifically, you get to know about David and Evie, but you get to Kylie does this really beautiful thing in the series where you get to know the next book in the series. So each book will be about a different band member. So in this one, you get to learn a little bit more about the drummer, who plays a really good role. And he's actually my favorite character out of all four of books. He's my favorite. So in the story, you have the pesky manager, you have some drama. They end up, of course, loving each other. There's some drama that goes through. He works through some things. One feedback I wish that we got more from this book was more about his parents and his background. I feel like we get to learn a lot about her, but not so much about him. And I would love to know more. I wish he went more in depth. That's kind of why I gave it the rating I did. So on a smut level, I only gave this a 2 out of 5. I didn't think it was overly smutty. I thought there were some spicy parts, but it wasn't really nothing outrageous, nothing big. I think it's pretty R-rated. I wouldn't say it's anything above like NC-17. Is that a rating that for like really smutty stuff? And then the overall book rating would be 3.5 out of 5, just because I feel like she could have went into more depth with more specifically David. I really wish we got to know more about him, even him and his brother's relationship. I know we touch more on that in book 3, but I just wish we went more in depth. It is only, 300 pages, so it's not a super long book. And you do gradually get to know more about it, the characters, even though this book is solely about them. You get to learn more about them in the other books and vice versa. So the connection with Mal and Anne is Anne's roommate moves out. The people beside her she's ranting to are friends with Evie. So that's how you get the connection. She goes to a party where Evie's hosting her new life with David, and she meets Mal. Mal needs a situation where he needs like someone to believe he has a girlfriend. So it ends up being he moves in, pretends to be girlfriend couple, they fall in love. So it's that trope. Mal is dealing with some pretty heavy stuff that you see his personality change throughout, and kind of explains why he is the way he is, why he's so out there. When he gets really upset, she kind of helps bring him out of it. It does deal with parent loss in it, and it affects the whole band. So I give this one a 2 out of 5 as smut. I don't find this book, again, overly smutty. I don't find any of these books super smutty, but I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. I love this book. I felt like she gave a lot more detail into Mal's background. She also kind of answered some more questions that you had maybe about David and his brother's relationship, as well as the relationship with their parents. And it's a really good book. I really like it. You also get to learn a little bit about Anne's sister, who's actually the girl in the 4th book. So she kind of puts a lot in this book, but it doesn't feel rushed. It's also only 300 pages, give or take. So it's just more jam-packed. There's less drama, but there's still some really good drama in it. So the third book is called Lead. It is about Jimmy and Lena. So Jimmy's lead singer. You find out from the other 2 books that he has gone to rehab. He's a recovering addict about drugs and alcohol. So she is kind of his personal assistant / like companion. The band hires her. So that's how the book starts off. You kind of see how she was brought on to be hired, as well as you see their dynamic. How she starts falling for him. She tells him he has no emotion, he doesn't know how to deal with it. So there's that drama where she likes him, he doesn't like her yet, but I think all along he did. She ends up quitting. He ends up chasing her. It's a really good dynamic. You see some of Lena and Mal and Anne's relationship. So you get to see when she poured beer on him, how that played out and everything. You get to see her go on a date with Ben, who's in the next book. He is the bassist, I believe. On a smut rating, I would give this 2 out of 5. Again, the rest of the books aren't that smutty. And on a rating level, I give it 3.5 out of 5. I gave it 0.5 more than his brother's book, which is the first book. It's because it goes more in depth of Jimmy's relationship with their mother. So I really like that you got some more answers. But again, we didn't get answers about David as much as we thought we would. We just got told that he's kind of sheltered, which we already knew. I wish she went in more detail with their parents, because when you have 2 brothers and she's doing 2 books about it, I feel like we could have went into a little more detail. But again, I love her writing style. I love how she flawlessly puts each couple in the books continuously, and you kind of see the chain of this 2-year events happening where all these rocker guys meet their girlfriends and how they all adapt together and how the girlfriends become friends. I think it's beautiful. So the last book, it's really close to being my favorite, with her sister's book, which is the second with can't speak. The next book is about Lizzy and Ben. Ben is the bass player. Lizzy is the little sister of Anne, Anne is in the second book. So this book starts off with some drama right in the beginning. They're all at a dinner, and the date Ben brings actually announces her pregnancy to everyone. And the drama part is actually Ben's kid. They actually had a one-night stand in Vegas for her sister's wedding, Anne and Mal. I have so many names to remember. I swear I'm dyslexic with this kind of stuff. So the one plus and downside of this book is, again, it's only 300 pages, but we have a lot of texting in it. So they text back and forth in secret because Mal doesn't want them dating. So when the pregnancy comes up, you see some band tension. You see the sister in the first book come back. So she's the high school sweetheart of David, and she wasn't very nice in the first book. So she actually comes back in the fourth book because she's the sister of our main guy in this book, and causes some unnecessary drama also there. And I think we see a breakthrough with her in all that aspect. So again, the smut, even though there is teen pregnancy, she's not a teenager, there is a surprise pregnancy in this, is 2 out of 5, but I give this book 4.5 out of 5. It's so good on drama. They're very quick. You get a good background of everything. And again, only 300 pages, so it's a really easy read. So overall in the series, I love Kylie Scott's writing. I like how she had a focus of this band and made them all flow seamlessly together. Sometimes I find when people do relationship after relationship after relationship of this like group of people, it ends up you missing the other people. It's not done as well. But she did a very beautiful job of bringing them all together. I think they're very quick, easy reads. They're 300 pages. They stuck in my mind years later of remembering them. I love a good band romance. I wish there was more smut, but that's just a personal preference. But the drama in a few of these books was definitely ones that stuck out with me, even though they are general tropes of everything that goes on. Overall, these series, I would suggest pick them up and read them. They're all very good. You can get them through your Kindle. I actually had the hard copies here because I read them so long ago. I'm more of a Kindle reader, as I'm sure I'll mention a lot more in these videos. I hope to get a few more videos up later this week. I'm going to pre-record a couple, so I'm not waiting a week to record and then edit. So I'm going to try to get some so I can get on some kind of schedule. And hopefully eventually get some followers on here and have some conversations, because I would love to talk to people. If anyone's read these books or has any more recommendations of rocker romance, I'm strongly interested. I love a good rocker romance. So thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment if you are stumbled upon this little channel, this little video. I would appreciate it. Start some conversation with me. I'm always open to make some new friends. And thank you so much. We'll see you next time.